Hello everyone. I'm here today to discuss my research paper topic for IT 104, which would be holograms. So before I go more in depth with holograms, it's important to know what exactly a hologram is. So if we look it up, Google tells us that a hologram is a three-dimensional image formed by the interference of light beams from a laser or other coherent light source. So there's a lot of uses for holograms. They can be either in the medical field, for entertainment purposes, security purposes, but basically there's a whole bunch of uses for these actual holograms. And if we click on images, here is this is what we think most holograms look like stuff like this, like basically just 3D projections, but they don't always have to look like this stuff that we see like on TVs. Some holograms can be like on magazines that we see, like when we move the magazine, it moves. That's considered a hologram. The chip that we see on our credit cards would be considered a hologram, which is another security aspect that we could use for them. Basically, just stuff like that is what we see. It's basically what holograms are used the most. Yeah, another use for these holograms would be when people would bring back dead celebrities in hologram form for them to perform in concerts. An example of this would be back in 2012 when they brought back Tupac in a hologram form. As you can see right here, this is him performing at a concert at Coachella in 2012 as a hologram. Now, this did bring up a lot of controversy back when he did perform, because there were a big chunk of people who believed that it was disrespectful for them to bring Tupac back from the dead pretty much and to perform in a concert. But there's also people who really like the idea and the nostalgia purposes. Like they liked Tupac back in the day, and for them to bring him back, they thought it was a good idea. But for the people who thought it was a bad idea, they thought that the creators were just doing it for money instead of them actually being a fan of Tupac. And another example would be when they brought back Michael Jackson in Tupac form, or Michael Jackson in hologram form. Yeah, here he is right here. It was pretty much the same issue. Like, a lot of people thought it was a good idea, a lot of people thought it was a bad idea. I personally thought it was a good idea for them to bring him back in hologram form because, I like this type of music, so seeing him come back from, well, he didn't actually come back from the dead, but seeing him in hologram form I just thought it was a good idea. So yeah, as we can see, the holograms do have lots of uses, whether it be entertainment purposes, recreational purposes, medical purposes. There's just so much we can do with holograms, and even in the future, there's a lot that we're going to be able to do with them. Like I can see cell phones or smartphones having holograms built into it for just certain projections that that people would want to see. I can see TVs having their own holograms pop out as its own little 3D projection without the 3D glasses. There's just so many uses. It can also be in gaming where holograms could come out. We can play games that way. It's just, there's so much we can do with it, and there's so much we will be able to do with holograms. So yeah, that's it.